Hello everyone! In the previous topic, you traveled the Spanish colonization here in the Philippines. And I guess you learn a lot and more, and you already know their historic background and their story each part. Now, we want to invite you to join us on an interesting and exciting journey through this history as we explore the American occupation in the Philippines. Are you ready to travel back in time with us? Come on, let's go! Hello guys! Yeah, it's me again, and I will give you some brief introduction of American occupation in the Philippines. Yes, you heard it right, but there's a lot of occupation of Americans here in our country. Since we are future educators, we are focusing in education. During the American occupation in the Philippines from 1901 to 1935, the United States of America promoted a public school system by focus at temporary and free education. The English language was first introduced of Americans instead of Spanish as the mainstream or recognized language of instructions to achieve unity among the different languages and promote American ideas. The Americans provide school system was divided into three levels: the elementary, secondary, and lastly is the tertiary, or better known as college. American teachers or Thomasines were brought to the Philippines to train Filipino teachers and the government to send Filipino students known as pensionados, the US for higher education during this period. Peter James Starr. Peter James Starr is an author and academic known for his work on the history of education. During the American colonial period here in the Philippines, one of his notable works is the education of the Thomasites, American school teachers in the Philippine Colonial Society, 1901 to 1930, which explores the role of American teachers, known as Thomasites, in shaping the Philippine education system during the early 20th century. If you want some more ideas and interesting information about American occupation in the Philippines, here's my group mates to present to all of you the historic background of American occupation in the Philippines education.
Timeline: 1901 to 1902, the U.S. established the Philippine Commission to oversee governance, including the educational system. By 1910s, the public school system continued to grow with thousands of schools established across the country. By 1913, American teachers had trained many Filipino teachers who then became a vital part of the educational process. By 1920s, the education became a critical battleground for ideas of Filipino nationalism. By 1934, Tidings-McDuffie Act set the stage for Philippine independence, promising full sovereignty after a year transition period. By 1935, the Commonwealth of the Philippines were established with Manuel L. Quezon becoming its first president.
That picture is all about teacher training and Thomasines in the Philippines, introduced during the American colonial period in 1898 to 1946. Teacher training in Thomasines and the Philippines has evolved significantly since its introduction during the American colonial period. Initially, focused on preparing educators to teach English and implement Western-style education, it aimed to modernize the country's education system. Programs emphasize the training of Filipino teachers to ensure the sustainability of newly established public school system. Over the years, teacher education has become a critical component in the country's development, blending global standards with local cultural values to produce competent and ethical educators.
Expansion of educational institutions refers to the process of growth and development of school, college, universities, and other learning centers to meet the increasing demands for education. Spanish and American education periods in the Philippines refers to the two distinct eras in Philippine history, during with the Spanish 1521-1898. American influence on Philippine education refers to the significant changes and contributions made to the educational system in the Philippines during and after the American colonization period 1898-1946.
Curriculum was focused on basic literacy, civic education, science, practical skills, and physical education. It emphasized the American values like democracy and citizenship alongside subjects such as American history. English was introduced as a primary language of instruction, replacing Spanish, and it was used a line of Philippine with American idea.
American occupation in the Philippines, education and national reform. The American occupation in the Philippines profoundly impacted the nation's education system and its involving national identity. Educational reform. The American occupation in the Philippines brought a significant educational reform aiming to reshape the nation's educational landscape and instill American values.
That picture is all about the legacy of Thomasites. Thomasites left a lasting legacy in the Philippines education system. Arriving in 1901, they established the foundation for nationwide public school system and introduced modern teaching methods. They trained the first generation of Filipino teachers, ensuring the continuity of education reforms. By promoting English as the medium of instruction, the Thomasites influenced the country's language and the communication practices, making English a cornerstone of education and governance. Their contribution not only transformed education but also fostered a culture of learning that continues to shape the Philippines today. That picture is all about the conclusion of American occupation in the Philippines. So the American occupation in the Philippines significantly shaped the country's education system, laying the groundwork for modern public schooling. Through initiatives such as the introduction of English as the medium of instruction, teacher training programs, and the establishment of public schools, the American colonial government aimed to uplift Filipino society through education. While this brought numerous benefits, including access to quality education and global integration, it also introduced challenges like cultural shifts and dependency on Western ideals. Despite these complexities, the legacy of this era continues to influence Philippine education, underscoring the importance of balancing cultural identity with progress.
Kabataan tayo na, sama-sama tayong magbalik tanaw sa nakalipas, ipinunla ng mga nauna sa atin.